This is 102.7 WNEW-FM in New York City. 2 hours of the best hard rock and heavy metal to be found anywhere. We have Doug, we have Jerry. It's King's X, your feature interview of the week. The thing I think of when I think King's X is, which I think is kind of cool, is music. It's primarily just music. Sometimes when you think of other bands, you think immediately video. Like, okay, you know, I remember that video on MTV, or they're like 6 or 7 deep into a record doing videos. Now, are you guys do you consider yourselves very much, you know, a video band, or do you take a lot of effort into your videos, or is it more primarily listen to the music? What do you think, Jerry?
Well, Sam Taylor, our manager and our producer, our friend, and the whole thing, he's pretty much a master filmmaker, I think, and he does our videos, and I think that's a way for him really to express himself. So I think that's somewhat of an important part in what we're doing.
Did he do the video for It's Love? He did the video for
He's done all 6
of them. That's a great video. How about I'll Never Get Tired of You? You guys be doing something for this, or is it already done?
Not yet. We decided not to do a video for this one.
Now, why is that?
We're just going to wait for a while and work some other areas.
See how things go.
We're boycotting MTV.
Boycotting MTV?
Not really.
No. We just want to work some other areas first, and then we'll probably do a video for it, but we're not going to do it right now.
So it's primarily like, you know, we'll kind of let the music do the talking, and if the video can supplement it, that's great.
Right. We're open for that.
If not, no big deal. Now Sam, does he like do films besides this, or just?
Well, I know that he has visions of doing films. I don't think he's done anything, you know, a full-length thing up to this point.
Right.
He definitely has it in his heart to do.
His wife writes children's stories, and he would like to take some of these stories and turn them into film.
Oh, that's kind of interesting. All right, so maybe we're on Sam. Okay, Jerry, now it's your turn. We want a tune from you here. Okay, now Doug did the babies thing. Okay, so you can't do like, you know, they're all your children. You got to pick a favorite here. Let's put it this way. Why don't we do this? Well, your favorite to play live.
My favorite to play live.
Ooh.
So what would be my favorite to play live?
Don't look at me.
Actually, they're all very fun to play. It has to be off the new album, right?
Sure.
That's a hard one, Doug.
You need to ask for the one that we don't play.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask for. Let's do one that we just don't play live. How's that?
That sounds fun.
How about we play Mr. Wilson?
For Mr. Wilson?
Yeah.
Okay.
And why don't we do it live?
Yeah.
Because we just haven't worked it up yet.
Is that it? Is that honestly why you haven't done it?
We were working all the songs, trying to get them real tight, you know, to play live, and
right.
and Mr. Wilson just kind of got left in the corner. And every day we go, let's go over the song in sound check, so we can do it. And we get the sound check, we never do it.
In rehearsal, we did our one standard time to go through it, see if it worked, and it didn't, so it's all okay.
Now, what would you do in the instance, Doug? Like, say for instance, if there's some, you know, oddball reason, you know, you're doing a gig, and all of a sudden the crowd is just screaming in unison, Mr. Wilson, Mr. Wilson, Mr. Wilson. What would you do in this case? Would you guys just like give it your best shot, or what would you do?
We give it our best shot. It would probably come off okay, you know, but we're just real picky.
But Doug would go there and say, "Hey, Mr. Wilson." That's it. That's the price.
Yeah, if worst came to worst, if you forgot the words, you could always do the moan jam, right?
Yeah,
always do the moan jam. All right, let's do it up. Jerry's Mr. Wilson, 102.7 WNEW-FM, New York.
Hey, Mr. Wilson, I'm glad you shake your hand.
We got 102.7 WNEW-FM, New York. This is The Shop as we start to wrap up our feature interview of the week, hanging out with Doug and Jerry from King's X. On the road for a while. We already talked about that. On the road since January until whenever. Now, Doug, if you could lay out a groundwork for what you see in the future for King's X, whether it be touring plans or music plans, or what do you see down the road for yourself in the band?
Well, we plan to tour at least till the end of the year. Is that right, Jerry?
Pretty much, yeah.
And then we will go home and take a vacation, and we'll start writing individually, probably on our 8 tracks at home, thinking up things and ideas and putting stuff together. Then somebody will call us up, which will be Sam Taylor, and he'll say, "It's time to do a new record."
Time to get back in
and
the
we'll
studio.
go, "Oh no, pre-production, 2 months," you know. So we'll get in there and gruel through our rehearsals for like 9 hours a day, you know, and get all the songs together, and then go to the studio, do it, and start all over again.
Are you not that fond of being in the studio? Do you kind of like to get it over and done with?
I personally don't care for studios because you're like under a microscope. You know, everything has to be just so perfect. When you're playing in front of a crowd, it's just the energy, the excitement, the people. Everybody feeds off each other.
Right.
In the studio, you know, you've got to emulate that sort of a vibe without the things to get that vibe.
So what do you feel about the studio, Jerry? Are you kind of the same way?
Kind of the same way. I mean, for me, it's just such an intense period. It's like all my securities and insecurities come out. and just like laid bare, and I'm naked before everybody. And it's a very hard thing to do sometimes.
Ty, our guitar player, the guitar player.
And he loves the studio.
He loves it. I mean, he
could live in the studio.
He just lightens up, and it's amazing. I just love to watch him.
That's strange because most bands prefer to be on stage. You know, they're like, the songs always tend to sound heavier, and then they can, you can fiddle with the songs a little bit more because they're in a live setting. That's kind of strange because most people are like, I don't like the studio.
And Ty says he could just stay in the studio and never tour.
You're kidding me.
Yeah,
he says that.
Now, living in the Southwest, do you find that do you guys get influenced at all by the South, like the blues or the country for that matter? 'Cause, I mean, you're in Houston, Texas, and that's pretty hardcore.
Well, there's just so much of it down there.
Right.
That I guess you have to be influenced a little bit by it, but I don't think it's a conscious thing. If there is anything in our music, we wouldn't notice it. We just do what we feel.
Yeah, I know this is kind of a generic question here, but if you could base your influences, if you could take like 3 different artists or bands, an era that greatly influences King's X, who do you think you'd pick, Jerry, or 3?
Well, I know for me, as far as drums, definitely a big influence.
Right.
Influence. Not as a drummer. The Beatles, of course, were a big influence. There's 3 for you.
All right. How about you, Gus?
Sly and the Family Stone. Influence on me. Black gospel music is just the intensity of it just drives me crazy. And I would probably say Free.
You're kidding me.
Yeah.
Is it now was it Free that really made you say to yourself, man, I want to get into rock and roll? Do you think that was the band that did that?
No. Actually, there was some local bands in town that I used to go watch. A band called Conqueror Worm and another band called the St. Louis Sheiks. They never got record deals, but they were amazing. And they showed me that I could do it. And if you ever had a chance to see them, these bands broke up 10 years ago.
Right.
If you ever had a chance to see them, you would understand where I'm coming from. Because I've seen videos of us and stuff, and I'm going, man, that's who it is.
That's great. So these guys are no more now.
No.
I was thinking if they're ever down in the area, you can look at me. Hey, those are the dudes that took us.
I would love to find them, and who knows?
Down the road. All right, well, fair enough. Many thanks to you, Jerry, for stopping by. Sure,
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And Doug, so we'll see you. You're evidently going to come back to the area. I mean, if you're on the road that long, you must be going back along with this tour that we've been talking about here.
Yeah, I think we're coming back in the area again to do that.
What's the name of that tour once again?
The Gathering of the Tribes.
The Gathering of the Tribes.
Right.
This should be real interesting. All right. After Gathering of the Tribes, I will have you back up to some road stories and so on and so forth.
WNEW.
Yeah, 102.7. See, this guy.
Thanks so much for playing the music too. We really appreciate it.
It's our pleasure. Hey, the audience requested, so we're going to play it. King's X, ladies and gentlemen. Check it out. Buy the CD. Faith, Hope, and Love. It is good rock and roll. In the meantime, you got 2 hours of the best hard rock and heavy metal to be found anywhere, and we'll do more right after this.